Welcome back. My name is Hayden Pike, founder of Bangarang Industries and lead instructor of Frogman Tactical. I've been fortunate enough to work alongside Special Forces, SWAT, and trained 1,000 clients over the last 7 years. Throughout this time, I've been able to become familiar with a plethora of domestic and foreign firearms. And today we're going to be discussing my personal recommendation for what handgun you should buy as a first-time gun owner in 2025. And that is the Bull Armory SAS TAC 4.25. Now I say this with a buy once, cry once mentality. Glocks are great guns, M&Ps are great guns. There's a plethora and a ton of striker-fired handguns and hammer-fired guns that are out there that are good guns. For a first-time shooter, the quality of a firearm is going to matter at some level. If you take something like a Bull Armory and you put it in someone's hands who's never shot a gun versus a Glock, inherently they're going to be able to shoot this handgun more accurately and a little bit more effectively overall. And that's just due to the weight, it's due to the trigger, it's due to the more accurate design of the firearm overall. I've ran this particular Bull Armory for 2 years now, and this thing has not let me down. They are tried and true. They are the only 2011 style handgun that is being combat tested in an active war zone by the IDF. And I've actually personally seen videos and pictures of them being used in combat operations. So for me, that is a big deal. Staccatos are also really great 2011s. They're really big in the States. Police departments used them. But there has been no military adoption of a 2011 outside of what I've seen with the Bull Armories. This is the first iteration of their Bull Armory SAS TAC. You see the barrel protruding and you see the silver grip safety here. On the updated versions, the barrel is flush and crowned, and the grip safety is black and blued along with the barrel. I think it's called the EDC now instead of the OG TAC 4.25. So you can't find this particular gun anymore, but Bull Armory has a ton of different options, from ported versions to comp versions to little micro 3.25 inch barrel with a comp, which are great for CCW. I tend to carry full size. You know, I don't swap from smaller guns to bigger guns. I use one gun all around, from carry to duty applications and everything, so on and so forth. And I just think that inherently that makes you a more consistent and better shooter with that particular firearm because you're not swapping around. So some things that I've done to this particular gun, upgraded it of sorts. You see that I have the Hollison PID on the bottom. Really do like this light. And then I have the Hollison 407C on this. So I wasn't really big on red dots. I threw one on here. I've been running it for about 8 months now, and you know, I can't see myself going back to iron sights for then. So as you can see, I have a Ranger band or some type of rubber band that is holding down my grip safety. You see that a lot with people that run 2011s that don't have their grip safeties pinned. In CCW applications, stress and stuff, you're not gonna get a perfect grip every time. So if I come up out of my holster with a shoddy grip, right, I still wanna be able to shoot and put rounds on target if I have to. So for me, the grip safety is negated 100% of the time. And to be honest with you, this is literally I don't remember what size. I think it's like a 18 or 22 size tube, bike tube from Walmart that I cut a piece out of and slid it on there. You know, so it works. You know, it's not a $30, $40 Ranger band that's branded where you're paying for a name. Bike tubes work, and they're cheaper. So one of the reasons that I decided to swap over to a 2011 in the Bull Armory more specifically is I can shoot this so much more effectively and faster and more accurately than any Glock that I've ever picked up. And Glocks I've ran my entire life. And that's just due to the weight, like I talked about earlier, the trigger. So it's a single action trigger. So you see, very crisp break, very, very short reset. And then again, a very crisp break. And that trigger is literally 2.5, 3 pounds. I've put a lot of rounds through this, so the trigger got broken and lightened up over a little bit over time. Just also how smooth these things are. You know, 2011s inherently, they get a lot of trash talk, if you will, for reliability issues and stuff like that. When you get into guns that are sprung really light, like the Staccato XC and other comp competition style guns, you know, meant for 3-gun and stuff like that, not really meant for CCW or combat applications, you will run into some issues with different types of ammo and when they become dirty and stuff like that. We took a trip to LA recently and did a couple days of training, and we picked up some really dirty blazer ammo. And by dirty, I mean that you weren't getting a complete powder burn, and there was a lot of unburnt powder in our guns after we had shot. So we shot 1,000 rounds over 2 days in this class that we were teaching, and the Bull Armory didn't have any hiccups. The Staccato XC, after about 250, almost 300-ish rounds, the slide was becoming sluggish as it was returning to battery, and it was just not operating how it should. The Bull Armory, being sprung heavier, being sprung a little bit more combative, had no issues running through that slug and running through that debris. So every aspect that I've discussed are the reasons that I personally recommend Bull Armory as your first handgun in 2025 as a new gun owner. The pros far outweigh the cons, and it doesn't matter if you want one to carry or if you want one on your bedside. These things just run, and you will not be disappointed with your purchase. Buy once, cry once. Have a great day, and God bless.